Hope everybody's doing well. As you can see from the title or thumbnail, this is a video I really didn't want to make and I contemplated it all week, but I'm going to try to be as constructive as I possibly can. All of this is in relation to the news that Stromer is pulling out of the United States from a sales perspective. And they've let all their people go here and they're no longer selling new bikes here in the United States. We'll get into how that was communicated in just a moment. This is not a video of me bashing the brand or its mission or its product. I am a huge believer in all three of those things with Stromer. That's why I started this channel, or at least making videos. So let me back up a little bit. When I was looking to purchase an e-bike, I ran across the Stromer brand by watching videos from a channel called The New Wheel. They have a bunch of bike stores in the Bay Area where I'm originally from. I watched their detailed videos about both the ST3, the ST5, the ST7, and then they also did some longer form videos where they met with Thomas and the brand itself in Switzerland. And I instantly fell in love with the brand and the product. When I started comparing other bikes like Reese and Mueller and Gazelle, I kept leaning to Stromer. And so that's when I started committing more to the brand, where can I get a bike? Where can I go see a bike? That was difficult to do because in Nevada, there were no dealers at the time. The other thing that was different is the price of the Stromer brand. These bikes were many times over what the common e-bike is. For those of you watching in Europe, the average price for an e-bike here in the United States is probably midpoint between $2,500 to $3,000. And on the high end, you're probably looking at no more than about $5,000 to $5,500. And those are from big brands like Trek and Specialized, for example. I'll put some on the screen here. There's all kinds of brands out there in that, let's call it $3,000 range, that advertise equivalent range, a faster e-bike. So bikes that go 45 miles an hour, which is beyond the class 3 requirement here in the United States, but you can still buy them. Not as good of components for sure. They're probably built in Asia somewhere. Not that's a bad thing, it's just different. And they're full throttle. So that's what Stromer has to compete with. When you start getting into the price point of ST3, ST5, ST7, those are now luxury purchases. The Stromer brand here in the United States is like buying a Porsche. There's very few of them here. Nobody knows about the brand. When I go out and people ask me, what kind of bike is that? They have no idea. They've never heard of it. It's a rarity. And to that point, that's why Stromer had to pull out of the United States. I fully get that. So that's the groundwork of where I'm at in thinking about this bike and thinking about this brand. The reason why I started filming is because there wasn't a lot of content out there with real owners that had this kind of bike and were sharing their experiences. My goal was to just be informative. Ancillary to that is to give people more exposure to the brand and maybe encourage people that were like me that might look at purchasing one of these bikes because they're just really cool and they work really well. I don't think there's another bike on the market right now that has the equivalent type of components and engineering that the Stromer has, not to mention the connectivity. So again, I really love this bike and I love the brand. So now let's get into why there's an opportunity. Monday morning, I woke up to an email with the subject line that said Stromer was discontinuing their United States and Canada business. Not sales, but business. So that immediately woke me up. In addition to that, the subject line was misspelled. The word discontinued was misspelled. So I'm like, is that real? Is that really what's going on? So then as you open the email, It was very short. And I'll read you, I mean, there's only a few paragraphs, and I'll summarize here what they have, but it says, we'd like to inform you that we'll be discontinuing our business in the United States and Canada with immediate effect. Given the current challenges in the bicycle industry and significantly lower than expected market growth in North America, we had to take this regrettable step. We will no longer deliver Stromer bikes in the United States and Canada. What does this mean for you and all our end customers in the United States and Canada? You and all other Stromer owners in the United States and Canada will still be able to contact the existing retailers for service and warranty issues. All dealers will, of course, continue to honor the warranty commitments. Despite our continuous efforts to optimize our business processes in the United States and to strengthen our market presence, we regret to deliver this news to our end customers. We would like to thank you for choosing Stromer for your personal mobility and wish you many more safe commuting kilometers and pleasure on your e-bike. Sincerely, Carl Klee, CEO of Stromer AG. If that's all the information you got, you have a lot of questions as an owner of this bike, especially here in the States. So immediately I go to the US Stromer site. That has been eliminated. So that forwards you to the main Stromer site. Fine. There is no mention of this at all. No FAQs, no communication, nothing. It's this never even happened, and we vaporized the entire 2 countries like we were never there. That's not okay. So then immediately you go out to the user groups. And there's a lot of confusion. There was a lot of valid questions that were happening, and everybody that were either dealers in Canada or in the United States were trying to put everybody at ease, but they didn't have a lot of information either. So I immediately called the person who sold me my bike, who was great, and he didn't have a lot of information either. He was super helpful, but it didn't have a lot of communication from Stromer that this even happened or how things were going to work moving forward. But he did say that he had set up a meeting with Stromer to get more information. I also called my local bike shop that does my service, and they didn't have any information either. They said, as long as we have the software, we'll be able to help you, but we don't know how this is going to work yet. Because I asked them questions like, how is this going to work? Who do you call if you need help? How does this look like moving forward? Parts availability, GPS and tracking and cell network kind of stuff. Both people that I talked to were super highly committed into taking care of their customers. They said, no matter what, we're going to figure this out and you don't have anything to worry about. As a customer, that's what we need to know. That's what's important to us. A little bit of background, I've been leading large customer service teams for probably the past 25 to 30 years. I've been in customer service and sales all my life. Being in leadership roles, you have to make hard decisions. I get that. This is a tough decision for Stromer to make. I completely understand that. People's jobs were impacted. I completely understand that as well. And that is never, ever easy to make those decisions. However, the company itself is not going out of business. The company still has customers in the United States that invested a lot of money in buying these bikes and believing in the brand. And so just to say, hey, we're immediately discontinuing business in the United States is not the right message. Without any back-end reassurance that you have nothing to worry about provided you're in warranty, without any context around how things are going to work and how the brand is going to maintain connectivity with both the people that service the bikes and its customers. Here's what I think should have happened. Stromer knew it was pulling out of the United States. The rumor mill picked up on it. This should have been coordinated like a military operation. It should have been, here's the email that we're going to send out to customers. Midnight on Monday. First of all, make sure that makes sense. because the email itself looks like it was ran through a language translator that didn't do a very good job. Let's also make sure that the email has FAQs in it as well to put customers at rest from a peace of mind standpoint. Let's also do informational seminars or meetings with the people that are going to be servicing these bikes to let them know, here's how it's going to work moving forward. Here's who you call, here's how you get parts, here's how you get accessories, here's how you get connectivity. Your software is not going away. Everything is going to be okay. It's just going to work a little different, and here's how it's going to work. Then let's get a web page going, right? Stromer customers, North America, US, Canada, click here and have a page of FAQs and update those FAQs as people have more questions. Then also work with your dealer network or your service network now to say, look at everybody on your books, because Stromer has all our information. They know exactly how many miles we ride, they know our email address, they know everything about us. So have the bike shops send an email out and say, hey, listen, I'm John Smith from XYZ bike shop, or your bike shop where you get your Stromer serviced. Here's what happened. Here's the changes, and you have nothing to worry about. Moving forward, nothing's going to change. Parts are going to be available. Connectivity is going to be available. We stay connected with Stromer. We know how to get in touch with their engineering department. If there is something wrong, here's what might change as far as parts availability or timelines. Here's what to expect. It's going to be okay. That didn't happen. And it's not the bicycle shop's fault. They didn't know that this message was coming out on this day. They had questions. Because when I called them, there was a lot of, we're going to do everything possible for you, but we don't know yet how this is really going to work. Now, as the week went on, both places that I dealt with had talked to Stromer, and they figured out how it was all going to work. There's still some questions out there, but it's going to be okay. So in the end, the takeaway message from this video for customers, it's going to be okay. As long as Stromer still stays in business, which it sounds like they are, it's going to be fine. So that's the good news part. There's still some questions on the customer side. I'm a big believer in this brand and its mission. That's why I chose to buy this product over the average product. How is the brand going to maintain its relationship with me? Not me, the individual, the collective customer base that bought your product here in the United States. You can't just say, effective immediately, we're gone. Let's put it this way, you can, but you're not going to be able to effectively execute on your mission as a company if your customers become disposable to you. I'm not saying that we deserve anything special. I'm asking for acknowledgement that you have a customer base here in the United States. The individual bike shops get it. They are fully committed in servicing their customers. It's the company that has the issue. That's the disappointing part. The only thing that I'm asking for as a customer is that your service people are supported, that there's clear lines of communication between your service people and the people that can help them. Parts and availability are accessible without long wait times. Accessories are available to be purchased either direct to consumer or my understanding right now, it's going to be through the service center, which is weird. And then maintain some connectivity with your existing customers. I think given this change, you have a lot of customers here that don't want to feel abandoned. And I don't know what that looks like moving forward either. But I think that's what everybody's concerned about, is they have a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 boat anchor now in their garage. That was the fear. What happens if my bike shop decides this is too much of a pain in the ass to deal with Stromer and I'm not servicing these bikes anymore? What's your plan to expand your service networks in the United States as opposed to letting them fall off? What's your plan for training? What's your plan for diagnosing things? This needs to be addressed larger scale, I think. So anyway, that's my rant. Stronger, do better. I know you can. I believe in your brand. I believe in your product. I'm not getting rid of my bike, provided you guys stay in business and people can still service it. I love my bike. I think there's an opportunity for you to do better in how this was communicated and really just creating more of a level of reassurance with both the people servicing the bikes and your customers. You also have a huge opportunity to create a community here that will keep your brand alive. Maybe there's no plan for that or any of the things I'm talking about, but maybe this little video rant might get you to think differently that way, because I think that's where your opportunity is. Thank you so much for listening. This is not a bash on Stromer bikes. I have a blast every time I ride it. That Stromer smile is still there. Again, the big takeaway message is everything's going to be okay. Anyway, it's the holidays. Happy holidays to everybody. Be safe if you're out there riding, especially where it's snowing or wet. And we'll talk to you soon. The next videos will be a lot more positive. Take care.